Welcome to our exploration of empire, power, and the legacy of Rome. In this chapter, we examine how a small city-state on the Italian peninsula grew into one of the largest and most influential empires in world history. We will explore the rise of Roman political power, the achievements of Roman literature and engineering, the relationship between art and empire, and the ways Roman civilization shaped later Western culture. We will also look beyond the West to examine China's rise to empire and compare how different civilizations organized authority, expanded territory, and created lasting cultural systems. The Roman Empire was built through military conquest, political organization, engineering, and an extraordinary ability to absorb and adapt ideas from other cultures. The Romans admired Greek philosophy, literature, architecture, and art, but they transformed these influences into something distinctly Roman. Greek civilization emphasized philosophy, ideal beauty, and intellectual inquiry, while Roman civilization focused more heavily on law, administration, engineering, military power, and practical achievement. According to Roman legend, the city of Rome was founded by the twin brothers Romulus and Remus. Although the story is mythical, it reflects important Roman values, such as strength, struggle, destiny, and the importance of the city itself. Rome's location along the Tiber River allowed trade and communication to develop, while the surrounding geography helped protect the growing settlement. In its early history, Rome was ruled by kings, but eventually the Romans established a republic. In the Roman Republic, citizens participated in government through elected officials and assemblies, although political power remained concentrated among wealthy elites. Roman society valued discipline, military service, loyalty to the state, and civic duty. These values helped Rome expand steadily across Italy and eventually throughout the Mediterranean world. Roman military organization became one of the greatest strengths of the empire. Roman soldiers were highly trained, disciplined, and adaptable. Roads connected territories across vast distances, allowing troops, goods, and information to move efficiently. Roman engineering transformed the empire through roads, bridges, aqueducts, baths, amphitheaters, and public spaces. Unlike many earlier civilizations, Roman architecture often emphasized practical public use as much as symbolic meaning. As Rome expanded, it encountered the powerful civilization of Greece. Rather than simply destroying Greek culture, the Romans absorbed and adapted many Greek ideas. Roman elites studied Greek philosophy and literature, collected Greek art, and modeled buildings after Greek architecture. Yet Rome's relationship with Greek culture also reveals tensions between admiration and conquest. The Romans inherited Greek traditions while reshaping them within an imperial system focused on power and administration. Roman literature became one of the great achievements of the ancient world. Writers such as Virgil, Ovid, Horace, and Livy helped define Roman identity through poetry, history, and mythology. Virgil's Aeneid became Rome's national epic, connecting Roman origins to the heroes of Troy and presenting Rome as a civilization destined to rule. The poem celebrates duty, sacrifice, and loyalty to the state while also exploring the human costs of empire and war. Roman historians such as Livy and Tacitus attempted to preserve Rome's history while examining political corruption, leadership, and the changing nature of Roman society. Roman literature often reflected tension between republican ideals and imperial authority. As emperors gained greater power, writers increasingly questioned the relationship between freedom, morality, and political control. Roman art also reveals the values of empire. Unlike the Greeks, who often idealized the human form, Roman sculpture frequently emphasized realism. Portrait busts of Roman leaders displayed wrinkles, age, and individual features as signs of wisdom, experience, and authority. Roman art celebrated military victories, imperial power, and public achievement through monuments, triumphal arches, statues, and relief sculptures. Roman architecture combined beauty with engineering innovation. The Romans perfected the use of the arch, vault, and concrete, allowing them to construct enormous buildings and public works. Aqueducts carried water across long distances into cities, while roads connected the empire from Britain to North Africa and the Middle East. One of the greatest examples of Roman engineering is the Colosseum, a massive amphitheater used for gladiatorial games, public spectacles, and entertainment. These events reinforced imperial authority while providing entertainment for the population. Roman public life often blended politics, spectacle, religion, and social control. The Pantheon demonstrates another side of Roman architectural achievement. Its massive dome and harmonious proportions reflect Roman interest in both engineering and symbolic space. Originally built as a temple honoring Roman gods, the Pantheon reflects the empire's desire to unify religion, politics, and public identity. As Rome expanded, it also absorbed religious traditions from across the empire. Early Roman religion focused on household gods, ancestor worship, and civic rituals, but contact with Greece, Egypt, Persia, and other cultures introduced new beliefs and practices. Eventually, Christianity emerged within the Roman world and transformed the empire permanently. What began as a small religious movement eventually became the dominant faith of Europe after the conversion of Emperor Constantine. Beyond the West, China also developed powerful imperial systems during the ancient world. The Qin dynasty unified China under centralized authority, standardizing currency, writing, measurements, and legal systems. Although the Qin dynasty lasted only a short time, it established foundations for later Chinese imperial rule. The Han dynasty followed and became one of the great classical civilizations of world history. Han rulers expanded trade, strengthened bureaucracy, and promoted Confucian philosophy as a guiding principle for government and society. Unlike Rome, which emphasized military expansion and legal authority, Chinese civilization placed greater emphasis on social harmony, family relationships, education, and bureaucratic administration. Both Rome and Han China demonstrate how empires create systems that outlast individual rulers. Roads, laws, architecture, language, literature, and political institutions continued influencing societies long after these empires declined. At the same time, empire often depended upon conquest, inequality, taxation, slavery, and violence. The glory of empire was always connected to human cost. As we move through this chapter, we will examine how Rome transformed politics, literature, engineering, architecture, and cultural identity across the ancient world. We will also consider how empires shape memory and historical legacy. The Roman Empire eventually fell in the West, but its ideas survived through law, language, religion, government, architecture, and education. Even today, the influence of Rome remains visible in public buildings, political systems, literature, and ideas about citizenship and power. This chapter invites us to think about both the achievements and contradictions of empire. Rome created extraordinary systems of law, engineering, and culture, yet it also depended upon conquest and inequality. By studying Rome and comparing it to other imperial civilizations such as Han China, we gain a deeper understanding of how societies organize power, preserve culture, and attempt to shape history itself.